What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel.
What's that? What's up?
I got a special video for you today, but I'm sad to say it's not going to be a drum cover video.
Whoa, I think I just figured something out, Beavis.
What?
This sucks.
And it's also not going to be a musician collaboration video with myself on drums.
It certainly does suck.
But what I do have is a special drum unboxing video. So let's get to it. Before we go any further, please click on that subscribe button, click the bell for all notifications, and you'll get notified as soon as I upload a very cool video. As you can probably tell by the backdrop here, I am in an AC/DC tribute band. Alright, before I get into this unboxing, a friend of mine and I were messaging back and forth on Facebook several weeks ago. I was like, man, I'm still looking for that Phil Rudd Signature Series Sonar drum kit. Can't find it anywhere, and I actually stopped looking for a couple days because I was just kind of getting burnt out on looking. Nobody had it, blah, 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 whatever. So he sends me this message. He's like this one? So I pulled it up. It was a Guitar Center in Round Rock, Texas, had the Phil Rudd Signature Sonar drum kit. This wasn't the complete kit that was released back in 2009 when Phil Rudd teamed up with Sonar. This is actually a used kit. Now let me just briefly go over the drum kit. I'm taking this right off of Sonar's website from the press release. The kit purely is all about Phil's setup he uses since the stiff upper lip and the most recent Black Ice World Tour. 22x18 bass drum without tom mount, so if you're familiar with what a virgin bass drum is, that's what it is. 13x13 tom along with a 16x18 and an 18-inch floor tom. They produce a fat, intimidating sound that cuts through easily. Pure high voltage rock and roll. Alright, all the drums are covered in a classic black wrap, chrome hardware. It actually comes with a 6-piece 200 series hardware set including a single tom stand, 2 mini boom stands, a hi-hat stand, snare drum stand, and a single bass drum pedal. Now this particular kit that I ordered, it was used. It does not have any hardware other than the tom mount stand and a snare drum stand. It doesn't have the kick drum pedal, it doesn't have the other 2 boom stands, and it does not come with a snare drum. This kit was actually released about the same time that Phil Rudd came out with his signature snare drum. There was a snare drum included in this kit, but it was not a Sonar. This was something that the previous owner of these drums probably just threw in when he sold it back to Guitar Center. It is a Gretch Snare. We're going to open that up first and see what that's all about. This kit is a little bit more simplified setup than what Phil Rudd used to play back in the day. Back during the Back in Black era, he had a cream colored Sonar. We had 3 mounted toms, probably 1 or 2 floor toms, and a crap ton of cymbals, which he still has. But since he came back on board with AC/DC, when Chris Slade left, he acquired this more simple setup. We're going to get into that right now. So let's go with the first drum. This is going to be the snare drum. Now, this is the first time I'm opening these boxes. I've had a couple of these since Saturday, which was about 3 days ago. The other boxes just came today. Big problems with UPS. We'll get into that in just a little bit. After all this is said and done, let's look at this here. Alright, this is a very, very tiny, looking at what looks to be like a this is either a 12 or a 13-inch snare. Alright, the snare bottom is actually in pretty good shape. Snare top's in good shape. Looks like a fairly new head. Let's see here. Use some dampening a little bit. Kind of sounds like the St. Anger snare.
God damn, that's cool.
Alright, so this is a 12-inch snare. This is a Gretch Blackhawk. You can see the logo right there. Badge. And it's a pretty simple, straightforward snare. I'm not exactly sure what wood that is. Could be maple, could be birch. It's very, very white. Alright, we'll set that aside. Move on to box number 2. And judging by this size box, this is probably the 13 by 13 rack tom. Here we go. Oh, this is a very nice tom. Now, this is the first Sonar kit I have ever purchased. I've been a big Tama fan since the early 80s. This is all new territory to me. I'm sure all the hardware is very similar from manufacturer to manufacturer. This drum looks like it's in good shape. Just some surface scratches. Don't see anything major. There's a few here and there, but there's one little nick right there. But for a used kit, it's not bad at all. And it does have the Sonar Special Edition Phil Rudd badge on it. You can see that right there. Evans heads on the bottom. That's the head of choice that Phil Rudd uses. Aquarian Performance 2 ebony with clear batter head on top. It looks pretty used and it's a little loose. Needs to be tightened up a little bit, but of course, with any drum set you buy used, you want to replace all the heads anyway, so that's what I'll do. Now, this is the 13 by 13 rack tom. Inside measurement 13. Now, normally you're supposed to go from the edge of the rim to the edge of the rim for the accurate size. Now, according to this, it's measuring 12. But this is actually supposed to be a 13 by 13. If they were all height of the drum is 13 1/4, so if I were to take the heads off, there's not much clearance here, so it looks like it would be close to 13 inches. Now the next one we go to is going to be, judging by the size of the box, it's probably going to be the 16 diameter by 18 depth floor tom. Bubble wrap for days. This is the 16 by 18 deep tom, floor tom. Oh, let's see. All right, there's the special edition Phil Rudd badge right there. And this is 16. Same on this one, Aquarian head on the top. And this has actually got the, looks like the factory Sonar resonant head on the bottom, so that's pretty cool. It's in decent shape. It's, you know, is like the other drum. It's got some few surface dings and scrapes. Looks like there's a little, not pitting on the rim itself, probably from moisture. All the legs are intact. Very loose heads. Now these shells are actually basswood. That was a cheaper version of shell that Phil wanted to use to try to get the cost down a little bit, so musicians like myself could afford them. Now back when this kit was actually released, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,400 to $1,500, including all the parts I mentioned earlier. That's not what I paid for this kit. Absolutely not. I think I paid around $475, give or take a couple bucks. And I had to pay for shipping. I'm actually in Virginia, so 2-day ship was the cheapest method of shipping, believe it or not. And that came to about $93. So for under right at $600, it's a decent kit. So far so good. We're moving along to the next drum. I bury myself in boxes here. Oh my goodness. It's like Christmas time in September. Alright, going back to the 16 by 18 tom, I actually read some conflicting reports that the tom itself is a 16 by 16 and it is not. It's a 16 by 18. It does measure out. This one actually is the Big Daddy. The Big Daddy floor tom. And once again, see the Phil Rudd Signature Series badge right there. Alright, all the floor legs on both toms are intact. They're all in good shape. The hardware seems to be in very good shape. Evans heads, top and bottom here. This looks like a EC2 Evans level 250. I personally am not a big fan of Evans heads. I tried them one time and I don't like the way they sound for some reason. I've always been a big fan of Remo. I usually use Remo ambassadors on the snare tops, clear ebony pinstripes on toms. Right now I've got a Remo Weather King Emperor on the kick drum, and then the front is just a standard stock Tama black resonant head. So I'm running out of room here. If anybody wants to buy any bubble wrap, I got a ton of it. I'll give you a good deal.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
This box right here looks like it's had some damage done to it. Not surprising considering the shit I went through with UPS on this shipment. Now I'm guessing this is probably the tom mount stand, the only piece of hardware. Oh, and the snare drum stand. Pull that out. Right. This is the Sonar tom mount stand. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Now this says Sonar 400 series, which was not what was in the press release. What we got here? This is actually not a Sonar stand. This is a PDP stand. Model number PGSS880. I'm not sure why that's in there. That was probably something that was thrown in with the 12-inch snare drum. Looks to be in good working condition. Looks like it's hardly ever been used, honestly. There's not a whole lot of prints on it. Rubber's still good intact. All right, moving on. And I'm really starting to box myself in. The moment we've all been waiting for. This is what seals the deal right here. This should be the 22 by 18 Bill Rudd signature kick drum. The kick drum head on the front of this bass drum should have his signature on it from the original press release, and I have seen them online with its signature on the front. What's going on here? However, when I purchased this, the picture that showed did not have Bill Rudd's signature on it. Now, I think it was replaced. Maybe the original owner took the head off and kept it for himself. Do your part and recycle. All right, here we go. Looks like he's got a Super Kick 10 on here. Why would you do that? He's got a, whoever had this before has actually put some sort of Mylar kick pad on the rim itself to keep his kick drum pedal from scraping the rim. Why would you do that?
Dumbass.
The lugs look to be in good shape. The feet look to be decent shape. Flip it over. As you can see on the top here, there is no tom mount. Completely relying on the tom mount stand. Sonar logo there. Black with the kick port. I'm cool with the kick port. That's okay, I guess, because Phil Rudd is a big Evans fan. But there's no signature on the head, which that's okay to me. It's not the true signature head, but it's Sonar, it's black, looks good. The kick port is really thick, it's nice and heavy duty. A few scratches here and there on the head itself. Nothing I can't clean off. Let's take a measurement on this. I'm used to the big 24 by 16 or 18 toms. This looks a little small to me. It does appear to be 18 deep though. Yep, it is 18 deep, which that's good. Here we go. It is 22. It's fine. It'll take up a little bit less room on stage. It's not as big. In this video, I'm not going to set these up and I'm not going to test them out until I've had a chance to go through and do all the tunings of the heads, put all my stands up with my cymbals and stuff.
You suck!
We'll do that in another video. I've got a special 40th anniversary Back in Black video coming out for the band. We'll see that probably in the next couple weeks or so. Problems with UPS. Ordered this on a Tuesday. Should have had them on Thursday. Thursday came around, didn't have them. I was like, all right, I'll give them a day. Maybe it got delayed. That's exactly what it said, delayed. Waited till Friday. Friday they didn't show up. So by this point I was getting irritated, very irritated. Saturday morning I woke up. I was like, okay, customer service is open today. This was over the Labor Day weekend. Customer service, I got on the phone with them. The girl I spoke to could barely understand English. And I'm fine with companies having bilingual people, but it's hard to understand some of these people. So she acted like she couldn't help me out. So I was like, okay, maybe they'll be here Tuesday. I waited about 4 hours for UPS to come. UPS showed up on Saturday, brought 4 packages. Now 2 of these packages actually got shipped to the other location about 2.5 hours away from me. How they got them there, I have no idea.
Stop whining.
I called UPS back. The guy I talked to the second time was a little bit easier to understand, and he kind of led me to believe that they were going to be here on the truck Tuesday. Tuesday they were not here. So I'm like, you know what, this is getting irritating. So I finally called again, got another customer service representative, and these international people, if you have to deal with UPS internationally, it's crap. They don't know what they're doing. But luckily this last person that I talked to, they were able to contact the hub in my area. Finally got a hold of an actual person that could tell me what the heck was going on with these things. The lady I talked to said, let me go walk around the hub, which led me to believe that, okay, this person actually cares about my packages not being here. I waited a couple hours and still didn't hear anything. It was late in the afternoon. I figured they're trying to cram everything in for their loading of the trucks for that night or whatever. So I was like, all right, she didn't call me, but hopefully they'll be here today. I woke up this morning and I noticed that the shipment status had changed a little bit from previous days, so that kind of gave me hope. Oh, maybe they're going to come today. A couple hours later, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to call them. So they put in a call to my local hub. I never heard anything. I still haven't heard anything from them since the recording of this video. And it is, right now, it's about 3:30 of filming this video on Wednesday. So here it's been exactly a week and a day since these items were shipped. 4 of them were 2 days late, and the other 2 were 4 days late, including the Labor Day holiday. So I finally got them all. Boxes themselves were damaged, but not the actual drums themselves, which I'm so thankful for. But I am glad to finally have gotten all of them. Still irritated that I had to wait, and I may even consider trying to get a refund on my shipping, which I have to go through Guitar Center to do that, and it's a big headache. I don't even know if I'm going to fool with it. That may be what has to happen. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Click the bell for all notifications for all videos uploaded. And remember, stay true to yourself. Go out and support a musician, and never, ever, ever stop playing your instrument. Click on that subscribe button. That f***ing fly needs to die.